Okay, so we have talked a little bit about the lifecycle marketing sections as well as the 9 individual stages, right? So just to recap, we have the collect lead section, which includes target, attract, and capture. We have the convert clients section, which includes engage, offer, and convert. And then we also have the create fans section, which includes deliver, impress, and multiply. And the first thing I want to point out about the structure of this framework is there's sort of 3 altitudes that you can use to analyze your business. So at a super high level, you can talk about it as an entire overarching strategy. Do we have a cohesive thread throughout our lifecycle marketing strategy? Is there something that ties these stages and these high-level sections together? The second altitude that you can use to analyze is in an individual section. So in the create leads section, do the attract, target, and capture stages have a cohesive thread? Are they designed with respect to one another? And how could that experience that we're providing be improved? And then at a more granular level, you can examine individual stages. Like, does the engage stage do what we need it to do? And is it designed with respect to the stages on either side, right? So there are layers to this that become super valuable when analyzing not only an individual section, but the connections it might have to the stages on either side, and ultimately the results that it can produce for the customer experience there as well. Okay, so the way you use this lifecycle marketing framework is as a lens through which you will examine your business. So if you line up the existing reality of your business and you overlay this lifecycle marketing framework on it, you can use it to analyze, okay, what is our current reality and how do things stack up as it pertains to these 9 different stages, right? And the first thing you might notice is that there could be gaps. There could be entire sections of the customer journey that you just haven't accounted for, or areas where you have, really light touch points and you could do a better job of engaging with customers at that point. So the first thing you're looking for is those gaps. And if you do see gaps in your customer journey, that is of course the lowest hanging fruit and should be your priority in terms of where you go to work, right? But the second question here is not just, do we have something in each of these stages, but were the stages designed with respect to one another? Because what I have found is that for many businesses, as they're building out their business, they put something in place because, well, it's hard enough to get something going, and then they move on, they build something else. If you do have something in each stage, and that something has been designed with respect to the other stages, then the next question to ask yourself is, how could it be improved, right? Yes, it's there, and yes, it's designed with respect to the other stages, but what else could we add to make this either a more robust or a more intentional experience? And to ask, all right, how long are people spending in each of these stages? And do we have enough in this stage that it's going to be there to support them for the duration of time it takes them to move to the next stage, right? You might find that as you're analyzing your customer experience, you've focused heavily on the engage stage, but not very heavily on the convert stage. Or maybe you focused heavily on the convert stage, but not very heavily on the multiply stage. So by lining things up against this framework, you should identify first the gaps, second, the way the stages are tied to one another, and then third, opportunities where you could just add an additional touch point or some additional love for your customers at that juncture in their journey. Okay guys, a handful of takeaways here. So number 1, the individual stages are very important, and it's great to focus at a granular level on what you have in each of those stages. But number 2, as important as those stages are, remember that they are part of an overarching strategy. So the collective stages, the power of them together is what produces your customer experience. Nobody experiences those stages in a vacuum. They are designed and are experienced with respect to one another. So remember that as you are designing them. And the third point here is that, yes, of course, lifecycle marketing is super valuable for new businesses or for businesses who are just designing their customer experience. But I want to also highlight that it's not just for new businesses. This is a tool that existing or established businesses can use to revisit and make incremental improvements to their already established customer experience, which oftentimes can produce really meaningful results because one small tweak or one small modification can have a ripple effect on everything that happens afterward for the customers and also for the business.
Okay, I love what Greg just talked about, and I want to call out just 3 things to reiterate and make sure that you're really thinking about as you move forward. The first one is how he talks about altitude. And a really great framework has a simple top layer that you can unpack as it goes deeper. And that's what lifecycle marketing does, is it lets you see your business in really simple layers as a holistic journey. Layer 1 has 3 main phases, layer 2, and then has 9 specific stages as layer 3. And that level of clarity is going to give you a tremendous amount of confidence. The second point is how he talks about lifecycle marketing as a framework that you can lay on top of your business. And a framework really just helps you organize the things that are already happening inside of your business. Think about other contexts in your life where you organize things so that you can understand them. Common areas that everybody shares are things like our finances. We organize our finances in ways we spend money, money going out, money coming in, this type of spend, variable spend, stuff that we're spending on groceries or fun or houses and so forth. And we can control those finances when we can organize and understand them. The same thing is true with lifecycle marketing. We can grow our business when we can organize it and actually understand it. And the third place that Greg talked about that I think is really, really helpful is to understand that this framework will serve you forever. Your business is really made up of your customer's journey. It is, and it was, and it always will be. And so coming back to revisit your lifecycle marketing framework, really revisiting your business through this lens will help you create growth. And growth really only happens in one way. It happens through finding leverage points. And in your customer journey, that leverage is going to come from either more volume or optimizing for conversion. And you get to decide where you're going to spend your time and effort to either create more volume or to optimize. And in the end, you'll end up doing both, of course. So remember those 3 things as you're going forward, and we'll see you in the next video.